Seattle Storm team's second best defensive rating in the league, but you've been able to find some shots and spots so far today. How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, they're heavy in the paint. We have great post players and they have to cover them. Seattle's a great defensive team. They're long, they're athletic, but the weak side's wide open. So as long as we keep the ball popping, I think we're going to find nice shots.
Gabby Williams storms inside, can't finish it, follows it up into the arms of Bibby, just signed for the rest of the season by Indiana. Been a perfect fit at the stretch four. Cunningham connects on a three.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another three.
You're staring at the impossible. Caitlin Clark trapped on the bench, the most explosive rookie in WNBA history, reduced to a spectator, while her team does something that defies every basketball law. For 7 straight games, the Indiana Fever haven't just survived without their $28 million phenom. They become dangerous. 5 consecutive wins. Their longest streak in a decade.
Bounces underneath, easy lay for Howard. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul. Cunningham connects on another three. Boston, good look inside. Howard lays it in. Cunningham connects on a three. Cunningham again. Nice find from McDonald, and Howard lays it in. Shot clock at 3. Finds Howard. Her jumper, sure. Cunningham.
While Clark sweats in street clothes, they're clawing towards second place in a playoff race tighter than a drum. This isn't supposed to happen. Superstars don't vanish while teams get stronger. So how did a shattered Fever roster expose Seattle's defense in ways nobody predicted? What dark secret did Natasha Howard reveal that put her alongside Tamika Catchings? And why are teammates calling Sophie Cunningham a human detonator? The answers will change how you see this team forever. But first, smash that like button right now if you believe in underdog stories. Let's expose the truth.
That's a PNW win! W's in the chat.
W's in the chat.
Oh my gosh. That one just aged me, but we're getting better. Shoot, good win. Win's a win.
A dub is a dub, so keep on rolling.
This wasn't just another August matchup. When Indiana stormed Seattle's fortress, they faced a season-defining truth. Lose here, and their playoff hopes could shatter. 6th place, 16 wins, 12 losses, 1 stumble from vanishing from contention. Coach Stephanie White's pre-game tone said everything. That urgent edge when she called this an urgency situation. Translation, their entire season hung in the balance.
You're kind of part of this jumble in the standings where you're 16-12, Seattle's 16-12, which a lot of teams kind of game above, game below. Just how important does it make for this game and this road trip?
I mean, I think that the situation that we're in right now, every game is important. And, every game that we're playing is there's got to be a sense of urgency. And oftentimes in the second half of the season that happens anyway, but certainly the way that things are with the standings and, opportunities to get wins and get tough wins on the road are important. But, we have to take it one game at a time and we have to be where our feet are, and we got to attack a great Seattle team.
The standings? A suffocating puzzle. 6 teams within 3 games. Home court advantage? Slipping through their fingers. And the schedule? A gauntlet waiting to crush momentum. Vegas, Phoenix, Minnesota. 3 powerhouses hungry to derail them. Most teams buckle under this weight, especially without their superstar. But Indiana did the unthinkable. They turned pressure into fuel. While experts predicted disaster, they forged a perfect storm. And at its center, 3 players poised to rewrite the script.
I think first and foremost, we got a great group of women. They're team first. They pull for one another. They're selfless, and they're capable. And when you have that, it just they've been resilient all year long, and they rally together. They're a connected group, and I think that's really important. And we have capable players. We certainly play a little differently without Caitlin on the floor. But the confidence that each one of these women has gotten in the ability to make plays in big moments.
Here's the stunning twist. Caitlin Clark's absence became their unexpected catalyst. Coach White's post-game revelation said it all. We played differently without Caitlin, and it's made us dangerous. Let that resonate. Without their offensive engine, they didn't retreat, they evolved. Kelsey Mitchell transformed from scorer to playmaker. Aaliyah Boston more from post threat to offensive conductor. Natasha Howard unleashed her inner facilitator. This was an adjustment. It was basketball reinvention. White termed it finding balance, code for unlocking hidden weapons.
The depth that we have so that you really never can key on one or two players. We've got multiple players that can step up and have big games for us. I think it makes us more balanced on the offensive end. And the versatility that we have defensively has been big for us. And so, I think this group's been resilient. They've come together. They're playing really well together, and they play for each other. And you really can't discount how important that is when you're playing for the person beside you.
Suddenly, defenses face impossible choices. Double team Boston. Howard strikes. Collapse on Howard. Cunningham ignites. The ball flowed like electricity. No more predictable patterns. But the real revelation? Their defense accelerated beyond expectations. Seamless rotations, intelligent switches, a scheme that bewildered Seattle stars. This exposed profound truth about superstar-aligned teams. Sometimes subtraction unlocks untapped greatness, and one player personified this awakening. Meet the ultimate anomaly, Sophie Cunningham, the lone fever player hitting impossible shots against Seattle. While teammates misfired on all 7 three-point attempts, Cunningham became an inferno. 4 three-pointers. For 5 beyond the arc, 17 points of pure combustion.
You brought it up before, though, and to Noe there. Double overtime game and then a day game today. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham, 3 for 3 from deep. Mitchell and Boston would combine for that. You'd never think this would be the score. Cunningham again. Sophie Cunningham has tied her season high, 16 points.
Come in with confidence, and she has certainly been that from the jump of this.
But the real story? This wasn't random. Hidden stats reveal Cunningham entered July as the league's top three-point specialist. 48% accuracy on high volume, yet few noticed. Why? Clark's shadow loomed large. When Seattle's defense swarmed Boston, they gambled wrongly. Cunningham would fade in the spotlight. Instead, she detonated. That series-clinching 3? So clutch. Teammates dubbed her Firecracker post-game, a nickname trending within minutes. Box scores can't capture this. Her presence twisted Seattle's entire defense. Every closeout opened driving lanes. Every screen freed Boston for easy buckets. Cunningham didn't just score, she weaponized opportunity.
It's been a lot of ups and downs in the WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's coming together?
Yeah, Seattle's a great team, great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not going to be there. But I don't know, I'm just proud of our team, and I'm proud that we stacked today.
Asked about the pressure, she calmly noted, weak side was wide open. This is a reality about support players. Empower them, and they'll redefine your franchise. But while Cunningham sparked the fire, one force was etching her legacy, redefine the narrative. Aaliyah Boston isn't Clark's compliment. She's a franchise bedrock. That Seattle showdown, she quietly broke Clark's franchise record with a 6th straight double-double. 16 points, 12 rebounds. But the masterclass, how she achieved it. Doubters claimed she'd disappear without Clark's playmaking. Instead, she became the playmaker. Study the film. That no-look pass to Howard's slicing baseline. The high post decisions dissecting Seattle's defense. She's now the fastest center ever to 100 assists, a stat demanding most improved consideration. And when Seattle surged late, Boston delivered 9 consecutive points with surgical precision.
Here's Boston. Boston, good look inside. Howard lays it in. Nobody in the league at 6'4" or taller averages more assists than Aaliyah Boston. Well, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul.
Coach White called her the Rock, but that understates it. She's a tectonic force reshaping Indiana's destiny. Here's the conversation starter. Boston might be their system's most indispensable piece. Her defense erases errors. Her passing creates shots. Her rebounding fuels transitions. While stars chase highlights, Boston architects victories. In the playoffs, that separates contenders from champions.
Here's McDonald. Bounces to Boston, center of the lane, able to flip it in. It's another double-double for Aaliyah Boston. Here's Mitchell. Good look. Boston finishes plus the foul. A chance for three for Aaliyah Boston. See Mitchell.
And it has to be frustrating for Kelsey Mitchell the way she shot the ball today, but you continue to work, continue to play hard. She makes the right
But one veteran just entered legendary company when Natasha Howard delivered 21 points on 83% shooting with 5 rebounds and 5 assists against the league's second-ranked defense. She didn't just dominate. She etched her name alongside franchise royalty. Only Hall of Famer Tamika Catchings had ever achieved that statistical alchemy in Fever history. Howard's performance was a masterclass in surgical precision. Spin moves through triple teams, feather touch finishes in traffic, and passes threaded to defenses like silk. Her efficiency wasn't luck. It was a culmination of 11 seasons of elite IQ meeting perfect timing. Beyond the box score, Howard's true impact reverberated in the unseen architecture of Indiana's system.
Players looking like they need a breather.
Yes.
Cunningham lays it in, going backdoor on Diggins. Well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul.
You see her cutting through the lanes. Skylar Diggins is inside, so she's the one left to take the Howard cut. What a tough shot by Natasha Howard.
Watch closely. She's a defensive orchestrator, barking coverages and adjusting rotations in real time. Her voice slices through arena noise, directing rookies to their marks and anticipating opponent sets 2 passes ahead. Off ball, she transforms into a human wrecking ball. Screens so brutal, they vaporize defenders, springing shooters like Sophie Cunningham into daylight. This isn't just basketball. It's cerebral warfare. Early in the season, Howard admitted chasing personal accolades, MVP dreams, Defensive Player of the Year ambitions. But something shifted during this winning streak. The shot hunter evolved into an advantage creator. That hockey assist to Kelsey Mitchell in crunch time, a microcosm of her growth. Instead of forcing a contested shot, she drew 3 defenders and flicked a skip pass to an open teammate, who immediately found Mitchell for the dagger. Howard now thrives in the margins where stats fade and winning plays ignite.
Low pass. Mitchell digs it up, using her size on McDonald. Here's Magvagor leaving it short. Kelsey Mitchell just 1 of 10 on the day. Off to Hull. Shot clock at 3. Finds Howard. Her jumper. Sure.
There wasn't a lot there. Malonga fronting. Aaliyah Boston making no pass able to go into the post, and still great job by Howard. Flashes, catch.
As Aaliyah Boston put it, she's our backbone. You can't quantify that. What makes Howard's presence transformative is her innate ability to build ecosystems, not just highlight reels. In timeouts, she's sketching adjustments on whiteboards. During film sessions, she identifies opponents tells invisible to others. Her defensive versatility, switching onto guards, protecting the rim, deflecting passes, allows the Fever to morph from a standard defense into a hybrid monster. Against Seattle, she guarded all 5 positions in a single quarter, enabling seamless rotations that smothered the Storm stars. 10 years ago, a rookie Howard watched Tamika Catchings elevate the Fever to the finals. Now, she's embodying that same legacy, the quiet intensity, the selfless grit, the relentless standard setting. When Seattle's late run threatened to implode Indiana's lead, Howard didn't demand the ball. She set a decoy screen that freed Boston for a critical post bucket, then stole the ensuing inbound pass. Leadership isn't speeches. It's actions that scream when everything else goes silent. Statistics capture Howard's 21 points, but they miss the kinetic energy she injects into every possession. They tally her 5 assists, but ignore the chaos she creates by simply rolling hard at the rim, forcing defenses into panic rotations that gift open threes. They log her rebounds, but overlook the volleyball-style tips that ignite transition opportunities. In a league obsessed with analytics, Howard is a reminder that some forces defy algorithms. Trust, timing, and the tectonic presence of a champion who's been here before. As the Fever surge toward playoff positioning, Howard represents their missing link, a veteran who's won 3 titles across 3 franchises. She knows how to calibrate intensity when to throttle opponents early in a series and when to dismantle them late. Her reunion with Indiana isn't nostalgia, it's destiny. With Clark's return looming, Howard's ability to amplify others, turning Boston into a facilitator, Cunningham into a flamethrower, Mitchell into a closer, positions this team not just for wins, but for a legacy. Years from now, they'll replay the tape, Howard spinning through triple coverage, eyes fixed not on the rim but on the teammate she'll set free next. They'll study her defensive play calling, a language only champions decode. And they'll understand what this moment truly meant. A legend returning to where it began, not to fade, but affords the next chapter of fever history and fire. The box score screamed failure. 3 for 16 shooting, 0 for 8 from beyond the arc. A mere 9 points. For a score of Kelsey Mitchell's pedigree, a walking ignition switch with 100 career 20-point games and the fastest Fever player ever to 500 points in a season, this stat line felt like a cosmic malfunction. Yet as Seattle's 11-0 run vaporized Indiana's 12-point lead, reducing it to a single precarious point with 90 seconds left, Mitchell didn't retreat into frustration. Instead, she sliced through 3 defenders like a heat-seeking missile, converting a contested layup that silenced the storm surge. That basket wasn't just points. It was a season-saving manifesto. Contribution transcends shooting slumps. Mitchell's off night became a masterclass in invisible impact. While her shot deserted her, her gravitational pull on defenses never wavered. Every hard closeout, she drew free to Leah Boston for post seals. Every drive and kick attracted helped defenders, gifting Sophie Cunningham open threes. Her 5 assists, including a hockey pass to Natasha Howard during Seattle's third-quarter collapse, directly generated 12 points. Her 2 steals ignited transition opportunities, one stripping Skylar Diggins-Smith mid-dribble, the halt of fast break. This was leadership redefined. Mitchell weaponized her shooting drought to amplify others, proving superstars can dominate without scoring. The football mentality. Few knew Mitchell spent her offseason training like a defensive back, agility ladders, reaction drills, and coverage simulations on a football field. That training surfaced defensively against Seattle. She hounded Diggins-Smith through screens, fought over picks with linebacker physicality, and contested shots without fouling. When Diggins-Smith attempted a game-tying 3 in the final minute, Mitchell's closeout forced an air ball, a play absent from the box score, but etched in the Wind's DNA. Kelsey facilitated us home. Cunningham said post-game. Translation: Mitchell's defense was her offense when jumpers wouldn't fall, the evolution of a closer. Early in her career, Mitchell's value correlated with points. Not anymore. This season, she's engineered a paradigm shift. Playmaking under duress. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, Mitchell's usage rate spiked 22%, yet her assists climbed to 4.1 per game, proof of her growth as a dual-threat engine. Defensive transformation. Her 200 career steal against Chicago wasn't luck. It reflected film study precision, anticipating passes like a quarterback reading coverage. Crutch elimination. In past seasons, a 1-4-8 shooting start might bench her. Now, Coach Stephanie White leaves her in, trusting Mitchell's gravity and decision-making to offset inaccuracy. The ugly win blueprint. Indiana's victory over Seattle revealed their championship caliber evolution. Adaptability. When Mitchell's jumper flatlined, Boston became the hub, Howard the finisher, Cunningham the spacer. No panic, just recalibration. Trust infrastructure. Mitchell's late game layup wasn't hero ball. It was system execution. A drag screen from Howard forced a switch, creating a seam Mitchell exploited with one dribble. Resilience metrics. The Fever are 9-1 this season when Mitchell scores under 15 points. Why? Her off-ball movement creates plus 0.32 points per possession, top 5 among WNBA guards. The legacy moment. With 35 seconds left, Mitchell missed a free throw. Then, she did the unthinkable, outmuscled 6 feet 4 inches Izai Magbegger for defensive rebound, extending possession and forcing Seattle foul. That play, a 5 feet 8 inches guard conquering a center, epitomized Indiana's season. Talent could be outsourced, but was non-negotiable. As the buzzer sounded, Clark embraced Mitchell, whispering what everyone witnessed. "You saved us when I couldn't." The revelation. Kelsey Mitchell's worst game unveiled Indiana's scariest truth. They no longer need superheroes to win. They need fighters. Mitchell's resilience, forged in football drills and fourth-quarter crucibles, prove that championships aren't built on perfect nights. They're forged in a fire of imperfection, where assists trump points, defense silences doubt, and one driving layup can exorcise an entire season of ghosts. The Fever didn't just beat Seattle, they discovered their identity in the struggle, and with Clark's return looming, that identity makes them unstoppable. So here's the terrifying reality for the league. This Fever team just won 5 straight without a generational talent. Imagine the horror when Clark returns to this. Cunningham sniping from deep, Boston dominating the paint, Howard channeling catchings, Mitchell closing games. They're not getting a superstar back. They're adding a nuclear warhead to a battle-tested army. Coach White said it quietly post-game. This stretch was a blessing. Translation, they found their championship DNA in the fire. Playoff positioning? Secured. Doubters? Silenced. And the scariest part? They're just getting started. If you believe this team can shock the world, smash that subscribe button and hit like. The algorithm feeds on your hype. Comment Fever Rising if you see the vision, because when the playoffs hit, this Cinderella story might just burn the castle down. Stay tuned.